But when this team needed to execute, the Oregon Ducks, they executed. And that's hats off to Dante Moore. That's hats off to just this offense as a whole and executing at a really high level. Dante Moore, a freshman going in there, 7 receptions for 89 yards, 12.7 yards a clip. I want to talk about Oregon now, because for as much as Penn State blew this game, Oregon went in there and won this game. Oregon was extremely impressive. Like, that is the toughest environment to play in. Dante Moore established himself as one of the premier quarterbacks in college football, if not the premier quarterback in college football. You look at his performance, 29 for 39, 248 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Like, this young man is special. I don't know if he's going to come out this year for the NFL draft or next year, but whatever year he's going to come out, I don't see another quarterback that's going to be better than him in his draft class. And for him to go in there, look as poised as he looked, execute as much as he did in big downs, in big situations, play after play after play, being as smooth as he was in that environment, yeah, Dante Moore has really boosted his Heisman resume, and he's going to put the Oregon Ducks in a situation where they could potentially make a run at the national championship here. And I'm going to continue to say it every time we talk about the Oregon Ducks. This team isn't what this team is going to be. They're going to continue to improve. And when you look at what Oregon did on the ground tonight, you're talking 39 carries for 176 yards, 4.5 yards per attempt. Pierre Hill, 10 carries for 82 yards, 8.2 yards a clip. This is Penn State. This is one of the best defenses in the country. And you went into Penn State and had this impressive of an offensive performance. Now, I get it. For a little bit there, it looked a little weird there, right? I understand that. That is a fair point. But when this team needed to execute, the Oregon Ducks, they executed. And that's hats off to Dante Moore. That's hats off to just this offense as a whole and executing at a really high level. Dante Moore, a freshman going in there, 7 receptions for 89 yards, 12.7 yards a clip. Kenyon Sadiq, wow. Kenyon Sadiq's one of the best tight ends in the country. What an impressive performance by Oregon. And if you're an Oregon fan, you have to feel great about your football team right now, because when you look at Oregon and you look at the rest of the Big Ten, I think the Big Ten's up for grabs. Like, look, I'm an Ohio State fan. I got to keep it real. Like, I think it's fair to say that Ohio State's still probably the best team in the Big Ten. I think it's fair to say that, but I don't think it's like for certain. Like, if Oregon and Ohio State played, I honestly think it would really depend where they played the game at. If they play the game in Columbus, they win. Ohio State wins. If they play in Eugene, I would probably lean towards Oregon. But this is for sure a college playoff football team. Like, that's just the way I look at them. And Dante Moore, name me how many quarterbacks in the country are better than this young man. Now, I think this was his 5th start for Oregon. So that is something that needs to come into play, right? Like, we still have to see him do this over the course of a season. That's why I would probably hold off on calling him like definitively the best quarterback in the country. But he made a stake to that claim. And I can't get over how good Oregon looked tonight. Like, they went in there and they won on both sides of the line of scrimmage. And their redshirt sophomore quarterback executed on the road at a much higher level than Drew Aller. Ask yourself this question. Who is the best quarterback on the field? Dante Moore or Drew Aller? And ask yourself, how much better was Dante Moore? Again, senior, third-year starter for Penn State compared to Dante Moore, who, yes, he started at UCLA for sure, like his freshman season. Then he went to Oregon and sat behind Dylan Gabriel, and now he's the starter. And he went on the road and played as well as he did. Just impressive. And the physicality that Oregon plays with, like, these numbers are going to look a lot more weird than they actually are. But, like, Penn State rushed for 139 yards tonight, but they only carried the ball for 4 yards a clip, right? And Trevor Pena, he had 3 carries. The wide receiver, they counted those. I think it was the jet sweep where he took it 16 yards. I think, yeah, and put him in a position there. They counted that. So he had 7.3 yards per attempt, a wide receiver did. But, like, when you look at Nick Singleton, who was looked at as one of the best running backs in the country, 1.9 yards per attempt. Kretschman Allen, 4.5. That's good. But overall, like, if you're telling me that you can hold Penn State to 4 yards a carry, yeah, I feel really good about that, because I don't know how many rushing attacks you're going to play that are better than Penn State. I just don't know that answer. So Oregon went into Penn State, played at a really high level, and they executed. And if you're an Oregon fan, you got to feel really good about your football team. You got to feel really good about your quarterback. And Dante Moore, the one last thing I want to say about Dante Moore, the reason why I'm such a big fan of Dante Moore is because after he transferred from UCLA, he could have went to another team and became the starter there. And he could have went to a plethora of SEC schools, a plethora of Big Ten schools, ACC, Big 12, whatever conference he wanted to go to. There were a plethora of teams he could have started for. But he went to Oregon because he wanted to play for Oregon. He wanted to be developed under Oregon. He saw what Bo Nix did. He saw what Oregon did with Bo Nix and how they completely transformed his entire career and made him into an NFL quarterback. He saw that and he said, I want to play with that team. I don't care if I have to be the backup. I'll wait my turn. It's all about the process. And that's what I'm so impressed with this young man. He went in there calm, poised, smooth, executed in the biggest moments. And he is as well-rounded of a quarterback as you're gonna find. He throws such a nice football. It's a catchable football. He uses his legs to extend plays, create out of structure. He's accurate. Just so many things that you look at with this young man and you say, that's going to be a special player. Not only is he going to be somebody that's going to be taken very high in whatever draft he decides to come out in, but he has the potential to win a Heisman this year. And I'm over the moon with how that young man looked.